Good evening, everyone. All right, here we have a video response for my buddy, Mr. Lorenzo, Boria Ravella Lorenzo. Okay, I got this message from you over on Facebook, and this is regarding using resources that aren't in your native tongue. Okay, so let me go ahead and read your question real quick, and I'll respond. Excuse me. Okay, so I have a problem, Moses. What do you think about to learn? What do you think about to learn a third language with resources which aren't in your native language? Because Indonesian, for example, is almost impossible to find resources in my native language, which is Spanish. So I will have to learn it from English. Do you think it can be a wrong method to learn it? My knowledge in English is intermediate, but perhaps this is not the way. All right, very good question. Very, very good question. First of all, I should say that this method, when you're using resources that aren't in your target or in your native language, I think it's a really, really good approach because, for example, you said that you have an intermediate level in English and you're trying to learn Indonesian. What you could do is go ahead and use that course, and what you may you're going to end up is inevitable. You're going to end up using a dictionary to look up certain words. So by doing this, this can only improve your English because you're learning new vocabulary and everything is in English. So I think, I mean, it's going to take some effort, but if you're really serious about learning Indonesian and improving your English, then I think this is a perfect approach for you. So yeah, it's definitely not a wrong method. So yeah, and I also want to talk about another method that I tried using recently with Czech. For those who are like, for example, I want to use Asimil, for example, because we know Asimil has a lot of courses that are in French. So I have the Asimil Czech, which is all in French. They don't have an English version. So what I decided to do with that course was just go ahead and, like I explained to you guys before, how I work on 3 lessons a week, and when I'm working on those lessons, I listen to them first and then I write them out on paper. I do that for 7 days. I basically would do that without looking at the French translation. Now, I do have a foundation in French. I could go and look at the translation, and I may have to look some stuff up, of course, but what I decided to do is just go ahead and listen to the dialogues, write them out, and just, once I get my 7 Deutsch marks, then I move on to the next 3 lessons. That's what I do. Now, this may seem a bit odd to some people and unorthodox, but why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I have several other courses for Czech. For example, I have Hippocrane, I have Teach Yourself, and I have FLR Czech, Colloquial Czech FSI, and some other courses. And these courses, of course, are all in English. You guys get that? You see where I'm going with this? They're all in English. So that what that means is when I go through this Asimil course, writing out the dialogues and whatnot, listening, when I come to any of these courses here, I'm going to come across those vocabulary. Whatever vocabulary introduced in the Asimil course, I'm going to see them in these other courses here. On top of my listening to radio stations and whatnot, I'm going to hear that stuff in different areas, and and then that way I say, oh, wow, I just learned that. I just saw that in the Asimil course. So that's what that means. That happened to me so many times lately. Work at this Asimil Czech, and then going through my Hippocrane course and Teach Yourself and Colloquial, I learned so many vocabulary words that way. So that's just another approach. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know that there are people out there who are interested in using Asimil, but there are certain languages that aren't in English. They don't have the English version. So if you want to take this approach, go ahead. You can get an Asimil course, and then you just may have to purchase a couple other courses, English courses, like a Teach Yourself Colloquial course, or whatever course is available for the targeted language you're intending to learn. So I think it's really good, and I'm going to continue to use that approach throughout the whole Asimil course for Czech, because I like Asimil. I really do like Asimil, and I want to complete the whole book for Czech. So yeah, that's my opinion on this topic. I think that it's not a wrong method if you if you decide to learn Spanish through English, although you said you have an intermediate level in the English language, you can only get better with a dictionary. So I would say go for it. You don't have anything to lose, and wish you the best with that. So if there's anyone else here with any other suggestions or opinions about these two approaches, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, thanks for viewing, and yeah, I look forward to any comments.